Today we have an extra special Star Wars TIE Fighter 3D print, so link in the description below to the original files because this person is just showing off with the intricacy of this one. So of course looks very simple right now, you've got a wing there, you've got some solar panels to go into it, but this is the complex part. This is like some freaking amazing 3D print origami. So you can download the files, link in the description below, they're free. And this thing then folds up. So this is one piece that prints off. You can have to have no adhesion here, additional adhesion to get this to print off properly. Then you have to go in and like actually crack a few different bits to get them to rotate. But once you do, you have an actual thing that folds up to make Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. And this thing is just absolutely incredible. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, I gotta say, to actually assemble it. But once you get it done and once you figure it all out, it's really cool and definitely well done. It could have been, of course, an easier 3D print, but I think this person was absolutely shown off with this. But yeah, you can start to see how this thing's going to come together and fold up to create the body of this TIE Fighter, which of course the wings then attach to. And we do have a few additional parts as well. So we've got some black pieces that represent the windows with white inserts. Now, of course, I could have went with grey filament here, but I think the white looks pretty damn cool on this model. Nice contrast. But now we're going to go ahead and start gluing this up. Now, it doesn't like click together in any way, so I really just kind of took my time figuring out which parts I would glue in first, because if you do glue the wrong bits in first, you can potentially not put the whole thing together. So it was just a matter of figuring out the right places to put the glue in and then start gluing it all together. But this thing is definitely cool. I 100% think it could have been simpler for sure. Like the whole kind of back structure could have easily been its own individual print in one piece, which would have also probably looked really nice. Whereas this does have, because it's so many pieces going together, it does have a lot of seams to it, which aren't the nicest thing to look at. But if you know the construction of it, it does look really freaking cool. So I can see the special part of it being totally worth it. But yeah, as you can see, kind of took my time, got the knife out to just kind of clean up a few areas, make sure it all went together good. But it was amazingly good at going together. That's, I've got to say, major props. I thought this would honestly be one of the hardest to assemble, and although it was a bit of a pain, it definitely wasn't that bad. And overall, I ended up with a really gorgeous 3D printed TIE Fighter at the end of this. Then I just left this to glue up and went back to the wings now, and I can start getting the solar panels installed on these. And this was very simple, just a bunch of glue and then press down the solar panels and done. And yeah, this is exceptionally good 3D model to do. It's definitely a hard print, and all of it's hard. Because like, for instance, these wings, they actually print from the bottom at an angle up. So they're quite hard to print off. Of course, this bit's quite hard to print off. You're going to have no extra adhesion. It is definitely not the easiest 3D print to make for sure, but it is extraordinarily cool. Unfortunately, I didn't hit record when gluing up the other bits here, the front and the top when it comes to the windows, so that unfortunately was missing, but you can see what it looks like when it's done, and I'm very freaking happy. And now I simply attach the wings to the side of the TIE Fighter. And you can see they're just kind of a nice hexagon there, and they just get glued in. So this was a little test fit, and you can totally put these in with no glue. This actually does fit incredibly well and quite snug. So I could have gone with no glue, but I decided to glue these up anyway. But yeah, they were in there real nice. So overall, just super impressed with this. And because this model's free, definitely worth giving it a go if you want to try yourself. And I think the black and white aesthetic has also worked out very, very well. These things just look absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, once this was put together and fully glued up, this is what she looks like, and she is incredibly gorgeous. So that's Darth Vader's TIE Interceptor, and yeah, great details, great assembly, a little bit more complicated than it really needed to be. However, it is exceptional, and the complexity is actually something that is great. And you can see all the seams. That's probably the downside. Of course, that could have been like made out of much more just big chunks with less seams, but it also reminds me of how the thing actually went together, and that was quite the assembly. But yeah, look at that. It is really, really good. So big props to the original designer of that 3D model. and I'm extraordinarily happy with the outcome. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.